Hello YouTube, this is my video of the YJ Fisher Cube, the version 2 one that actually has Florian holes and can corner cut. Now if you're wondering what this is, it's a 3x3 shape mod. So these two puzzles are technically the same thing. Basically what happened is they rotated the cube slightly while retaining the cubic shape. So as you can see, the pieces that look like the corners are actually the edges of the 3x3. And what look like the edges are actually the corners, and the centers remain the same. So it still has a cubic shape, but they actually rotate the internal mechanism. So it functions completely like a 3x3, and it has shape shifting, except across the top and bottom axes. And if you do when A turns across the middle ring axes, it also does not shape shift. What's interesting about this is you have supercube centers on these four axes, but not on the top and bottom. If you're wondering what a supercube center is, it's a center of orientation. So this center is not right, still not right, still not right, and now it's the right way. Whereas opposed to this, no matter how you have it, it's always solved. So it's an added challenge that this one does not have. The edges do pop either up or down. I know it has 3 colors on it, but it only has 2 orientations. And these corners, yes, these are corners, have 3 orientations, despite the fact that the colors make it look like it only has 2. And these pieces right here, although they look like a center, as it only has 1 color, have 2 orientations, but they're equivalent, which creates a logical equivalent, false equivalence, sorry about that, which actually gives it a parity. So you could have one of these pieces flipped, and only one of these pieces flipped. But it's obviously not an actual parity. All you have to do is flip this piece, and it'll be fine. So the turning of this, it's nice across these layers, smoother, but a little bit bumpy. But across these, it's really scratchy. Now what's interesting about this is, I thought that it would be the same as the YJ axis cube, because I'm pretty sure they use the same mechanism. However, they turn in the turning feeling is completely different. Whereas this cube feels a little bit more dry, but smooth turning, not interrupted. This one is bumpy feeling and a little bit more scratchy across this axis, and much smoother and a tiny bit bumpy across this axis. I believe the reason for this Y is just because of how the pieces are extended or cut down. So there are different amounts of surface area that's actually getting bumped across the pieces. Also, if these ones going out further, and the centers going out further, and these edges going out less, I do believe that's why it has the different feeling across all the axes. Whereas these pieces are almost all different. So it kind of all just blends together. So it more has to do with how the pieces are getting bumped against each other. That determines the feel, not so much the mechanism. But the mechanism does have a big impact on things like corner cutting. As you can see, it actually has a somewhat decent amount of corner cutting. Not much reverse, however, thanks to the Florian holes, it doesn't catch a lot. You're not really speed solving this just because of how it goes out of shape when you try solving it. But honestly, you could solve it pretty fast. Now, I want to compare these series of puzzles, since these are both YJ and this is the Fangshin, together, because what ends up happening is, you see this company and this company both have the Fisher Cube, the Windmill Cube, and the Axis Cube. So I was wondering which one would be better, and my recommendation is, it depends on your preference. I personally favor the YJ cubes. I do think that they're faster and smoother. But the thing is, they feel cheap. They feel hollow. The Fangshin cubes, they feel solid. It feels like it's an actual decent cube. But honestly, the turning is pretty similar. The corner cutting is pretty similar. But I do give personal preference to YJ. By the way, just a quick thought. As you might have seen my other video, I said that I was going to flip the middle layer. This is what it looks like. Basically, it gives a wall cube effect. So it's a unique solve. I might actually make an additional video on this. Let me know if you want to. So my final thoughts of this are, If you like shape mods, you should definitely get this puzzle. It does introduce supercube centers in a really easy way, because it does have these two that you could use as buffer centers so you don't have to have all the centers rotate correctly, not like this one. This one, all of the centers have to be rotated correctly. This one, these two don't matter. So it's an easier one to get. I'd say the windmill cube is actually the easiest puzzle out of the series. It doesn't have parity. It doesn't have any real challenges. Just like this puzzle, it has 4 centers that are super cubes. But yeah, I do recommend this puzzle. It's a really nice cube. It's enjoyable to solve. It also looks cool, and you could turn it into a house cube by swapping out some pieces with a 3x3. Right. However, if you do get this cube, I do recommend this mod. It's very fun to do. So yeah, these are my thoughts on this puzzle. Let me know what you think. Let me know if there are any other shape mods you think I should get or review. So thank you guys. Have a nice day.